Welcome to the Malden Talks broadcast, February 2nd, 2025. This edition of General News is heavily dominated by President Trump. The world is now infected by Trump derangement syndrome, whether we like it or not. Just a quick note about the helmet. Last month, I attended the Arisia convention. I mainly stayed outside. Just did chauffeur service for my wife and her buddies. And day one, when I chauffeured them to the convention, I came in costume as Odd Job, the evil henchman in one of the James Bond movies, Goldfinger. On day two, I shuttled my wife and buddies to the convention dressed as Vader. I was the Vader chauffeur. Now on to our news. Tariff wars. Tariff wars are on between the U.S. and Mexico and between the U.S. and Canada. Tariffs are also being raised on China. Canada and Mexico are striking back with targeted tariffs against the United States. Prices could go up, things could get weird, and it's a vicious tariff war starting between two of the closest allies of the United States, Mexico and Canada. And it looks like these tariff wars are going to spread to Europe. President Trump has been on the news. He said clearly tariffs are on the block and they will be applied to Europe and the European Union. Who knows how that's going to shake out? Amazon, Apple, Meta, which is Facebook, and other big tech firms are going back to the X platform and planning to spend big on advertising on X. Bill Gates also playing nice with Trump and having lunches and dinners with Trump. South Korea prosecutors indict President Yoon for insurrection. Looks like Yoon is going down. I don't think he has a leg to stand on. South Korea will probably have a new president sometime in the near future. President Trump is still dominating headlines daily. It's gotten tiring to even try and keep up. In addition to talking big trash and insulting the EU, European Union, up one side and down the other, to their face, he declassified all of the assassination files for John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King. Wow. President Trump withdrawing the United States from the U.S. from the Paris Climate Pact. That's huge. President Trump officially declared that official federal government policy will be that only two genders exist. Trump officially orders the end of DEI in the federal government and firing of any involved. All pronouns on all official documents and email signatures are ordered removed. No one is allowed to use the asexual letter X designation on anything pertaining to government documents. All federal prisoners will be reassigned to prisons based on their determined birth gender paperwork, regardless of circumstances. Trump declared a national energy emergency, though the United States is producing more oil now than any other country at any other time. He intends to streamline permitting and review regulations that impose undue burdens on energy production and use, including mining and processing of non-fuel minerals. Trump renames the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Mexico retaliates by renaming parts of America as Mexican territories. Conditional wildfire aid proposed for LA wildfires, which are still burning in parts of Los Angeles. Trump unilaterally opens dammed water to flow into southern Florida against the California government's wishes. The World Health Organization issues new warning over mystery virus and asks for return of COVID measures. The World Health Organization also called for the reinstatement of restrictions implemented during COVID-19 pandemic as cases of human metapneumovirus continue to surge. In case I hadn't mentioned it before, President Trump has removed the United States from the World Health Organization. In other news, President Biden pre-pardoned people who had not been charged or convicted of anything. Biden pre-pardons his direct family members. Never seen this before in American history. New precedents are being set. Those issued pardons include Dr. Anthony Fauci, the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, retired General Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and lawmakers and staffers from the House committee that investigated the Capitol attack on January 6, 2021. Those lawmakers include former GOP reps Liz Cheney of Wyoming, Adam Kinzinger of Illinois, and Senator Adam Schiff, Democrat of California. In other news, Space Force marched in the presidential inauguration for the first time. Members of Space Force are called Guardians. The U.S. Supreme Court upholds the law banning TikTok in America. President Trump temporarily suspends that TikTok ban. Aggressive deportation proceedings ramping up across the entire United States. Guantanamo Bay prison colony being refreshed to house up to 30,000 hardened illegal prisoners that are too dangerous to send back to their own countries. Donald Trump announced the surprise creation of a powerful new government agency that will collect billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs from foreign countries. He calls it the ERS. Today, quote, "Today I announcing that I will create the External Revenue Service to collect our tariffs, duties, and all revenue that come from foreign sources." In other news, President Trump vowing to kill ISIS members anywhere that they are found after blowing up some ISIS leaders this weekend. No one really cares much about the groundhog Punxsutawney Phil and his weather forecasting shadow today, with all of the news flying all over the place in America today. Once again, I'm really not keeping up with the flood of international and local news that Trump is generating. Trump is like a force of nature, and the polite people in politics who are basically aghast at his foul language, brash nature, and are just clutching their pearls over everything he says and does. It's amusing just seeing how worked up America gets. The man is a one-person news source. Well, I'd like to do more different news, but my time is being sucked up by what Trump does and the reactions to him around the world. Who knows what's going to happen if Trump acquires the Panama Canal, and also if Trump manages to, who knows, buy the country of Greenland. I mean, these are wacky historical things that Trump is attempting, and it's going to be amusing to watch to see what happens, if anything, over the next 4 years, and we're just getting started. This is Joe Gray, Malden Talks, February 2nd, 2025. Have a good day and have a good season. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.